Hi, I'm Luke McIntosh, creator of BecomeABassist.com, and welcome to Lesson 4 of Effortless Intonation. Now this is where things really start getting fun. You're going to be playing chords this time against a whole new set of chord drones. Now when I first was starting to play upright, I was getting lessons from a guy named Brett Hurst. And I thought I was doing pretty well. I was trying to do a whole bunch of fancy stuff, and I was probably failing more than I was succeeding. But that was okay. He knew exactly what was going on, and he said this. He said, okay, cool. That's all good. You can play all that kind of semi-fancy stuff, but let me hear you play a 2-octave triad. I thought easy, nothing to it. 2-octave triad, simple chord, and turns out it was a lot more difficult than I had anticipated. There was a lot of kind of shifts that I'd never thought of before, and it was actually quite challenging for me. However, this was one of the best things anyone ever got me to do when I was first starting to play. It was incredibly useful, incredibly valuable. It was only later on that I had the idea to combine the drones with this kind of triad exercise. And it was super, super valuable because I could check my intonation against something I knew was in tune, and it took all the guesswork out of practicing intonation. Now this is where things actually get to be really, really fun. And I want to introduce you to a concept right now called working the intervals. And it's very, very simple. In its most basic form, you're just going to put a drone on and then play notes against it that are in the chord. So we're going to use a C major drone for this lesson. And so the notes in a C major chord are C, E, and G. So you're just going to be playing those notes against a C major drone. It's very, very simple. You're just going to be working different intervals and trying to get them super, super in tune. Now obviously you have your low notes. You've got your low C, E, and G. But you also have all the other notes above this G, like this C, oh pardon me, this E, this G, even this C up here. Now you don't have to go this high. You don't have to go this high at all. Just go as high as you're comfortable. If you're only comfortable getting up to this high C, that's totally fine. If you're comfortable only getting up to this high G, that's fine as well. Only go as high as you're comfortable. And then push those boundaries a little bit. See if you can get one note further than you're comfortable. So let me show you. I'm going to put on my C major drone. And what we're going to do, we just play those notes against it. So we have our low C, E, G, C. That's our first octave there. Try and really get those as in tune as possible. Oh, that's a little bit flat. So sharpen that one up a little bit. Now I'm going to go 2 octaves. Like I said, you don't have to go as high as this. Just go as high as you're comfortable. But I want to show you what working the octaves looks like. So we're going to go. Oh, see, that's a little bit sharper at the start. I'm going to go up to this C up here, a little bit flat, so work that interval. So from the G to the C, not quite there yet. There we go, that's better. E, G, oh that's a little bit flat. There we go. So the treble interval there was from the G to the C, so not quite good. There we go, that's better. A little bit flat on that one. That's good. There we go. That's what you do. You find the places where you're out of tune and work them. That one was a little bit sharp. There we go. Just like that. Do you see how you're actively seeking out the places where you sound bad and working on those? That's exactly what you want to do. You don't want to stay where you're comfortable. You want to push the limits of your comfort ever so slightly. So, and then take that and kind of store it in your muscular memory bank. Sure, it's not going to be perfect every single time, but you get more consistent and more accurate the more you do it. Just like that. Now the next step in this process is playing the exact same thing but seeing if you can play it different ways. So you're just using the exact same notes, the C, E, G, and repeating C, E, G, but finding different ways to play. So for example, let's just stay with the first octave. Let's just stay with this. Oop. There we go. How many different ways are there to play that? So first of all, let's try, instead of playing the open G, let's play G on the D string. Just like that. That's another way to play that. No problem intervals in there yet. So let's replace this E with this E down here. Oh, that's a little bit flat on the top. Let me put my drone back on. Oh, a little bit flat. A little bit flat still. There we go. See how that interval there from the C to the E, it's a bit of a jump. Oh, and it was being a little bit inaccurate. So you focus on that. You work that interval. Just keep working it until it's nice and in tune. What's another way we can play this? Let's play, you can try playing up to that C there, or you could try this, try playing open, go open G. Oh no, I've already done that one. But try and find different ways of playing the same thing. The more ways you can play the same thing, the better off you're going to be, and the more intervals that you can work. Now the next level above that is to just work one string. So take your C and just work as high up as you can that A string. And then you could go up there as well. That's that whole octave there, just on the A string. Oh, there we go. Oh, a little bit sharp there. Now this is getting less and less efficient, you'll notice. You notice that you'd probably never play that like that. But it'll help you work different intervals. So for example there, you've got a C to an E, which is a major third, the E to the G is a minor third, and the G to the C is a perfect fourth. So you're working a whole bunch of different intervals in one way. Now the idea here is to work the problem areas. Don't fall into the trap of just staying comfortable and stay doing what you know. The idea is to push your limits and get better and better at playing intervals that you may never have played before. But the more you do it, the more muscular memory you'll build up, as well as developing your ear to tell you whether you're in tune or not super, super quickly. Now this process is messy. It's very, very messy. I mean, you saw just right then. It's not a clean, crisp, simple process. It's very, very messy. And embrace that. Give yourself permission to sound messy. Give yourself permission to sound bad. If you sounded good all the time, you probably wouldn't be improving. So the only way to really improve is to find the edges of your limits and push through them just very, very, very carefully, very, very slowly, and very, very methodically. The more you do this, the more you build up your intonation, the better you'll sound. So to recap, you learned about the process of working the intervals against a major drone. You learned to figure out exactly what wasn't working and to use the big muscles in your arm and your elbow to try and fix them so you can play more in tune and be in tune every single time. Now in the next lesson, we've got a whole new set of drones and a whole new set of things that you can do with them. So make sure and check your inbox very, very soon. I'm Luke McIntosh, creator of BecomeABassist.com, and I'll see you in the very next lesson.